Wife support. Wife support. Welcome to Wife Support.
Hi, I'm Kaycee.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And this is Wife Support. It's a podcast where two wives of each other, that's us, we talk about stuff.
We talk about fun stuff.
We talk about fun stuff. We talk about serious stuff. I think each cried.
I have not cried. You definitely have cried maybe every episode. I definitely have not cried.
I haven't cried every episode. I've cried on a few. You've not cried? You didn't even get misty-eyed once?
Beep, boop, beep, bop, robot.
Not even a little misty-eyed?
No, absolutely not.
Well, we're going to have to change that.
Okay.
Actually, we might be able to change it today.
Shoot. You planned it. Oh, okay. No.
Okay, so, you have to make sure you follow us. I'm at Kaycee Conlee on everything.
And I'm at Conlee22 on the one thing.
On the one
We've
thing.
covered this.
Yes. First we got a dilly-dally, and I'm excited. I have something to tell.
Okay.
I went to the dermatologist this week.
Oh?
Never had a shorter dermatologist in my appointment in my life.
Are we following up on this like our 40th year
Yeah, maybe
thing?
a little
bit.
bit.
Trying to take better care of your skin?
No, it just got me thinking because I just went because I wanted to get my moles checked. Because if you're watching this or if you know me, you know that I have these little wisdom spots. I have moles. I've always had a lot of freckles and moles. And so I've been getting a lot more diligent about going every year to like get them checked. And this week's like check-in, and look, I like my dermatologist. She's thorough, she's great. But I never had a faster one. It was like I don't think I even sat down in the lobby.
That's a first for any doctor.
I was like, they had handed me my paperwork and I was like going to sit down to start it, and then they called my name and I was like, but the paperwork, and they're like, no, come on. And and then I was like, okay, and they're like, put this on, put the gown on, opening in the back, which is I'm like always waiting to hear where to put the opening.
In the front or back.
Because I'm always so worried I'm going to put it on the wrong way.
Do you have a preference?
Well, I like the opening in the back.
Oh, okay.
But I just want to do it right so that they don't come in and they're like, you're an idiot.
And then you have to like get naked just to switch it around.
Well, I think they would step out. I've never gotten it wrong, thank goodness. But anyway, she takes out the little like device, which I'm not sure. Have you gotten your moles checked before, babe?
Yes, many times.
Okay. I don't know if it's just a light and a magnifying glass or if there's some sort of science to it, like a red light or a radiation detector, or I don't know what it is. But she takes the little like thing and goes like all over your body.
I'm
like
she's just like a magnifying
detective.
Glass, and she's like looking for cells.
But what is she looking for?
She's probably looking for discoloration, for flaky skin, for like abnormal cell growth.
Okay, well you made it sound really clear and obvious when I was like, what is she looking for?
I will caveat I have a history of skin cancer in my family, so I'm a little bit more.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you okay sharing it?
Yeah. I mean, just like various family members. Like my mom, remember she had that one on her nose, and
no,
my dad has.
I don't remember that.
My dad's had it on his face multiple times.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, it's just like they go in and like have to remove the tissue.
Yeah. But. Well, I remembered about your dad, but that's your stepdad, so I guess.
Yeah, my mom too.
Oh wow.
Because all those years of them just like oiling up with baby oil in the sun,
roasting in the sun. But anyway, she had me lay down, opening in the back, and then she was so fast, I felt like I was just roasting on a spit. She's like, turn over. I'm like, I was just like a little 7-Eleven hot dog, just like, here we go, other side. And then she was out of there. She's like, you're good. And then she was like, she was like, do you have any questions for me? And I was just like, not really. I didn't, so that was it. I got some free samples and I was out of there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. I don't know. Maybe this is people's reminder to get their moles checked.
Yes, get your moles checked. Skin cancer is a very prevalent problem, especially for people of our age.
Yeah. She was like, well, probably because we use those oils and.
Well, we just like didn't like proper skincare and sun protection came along later in our lives.
Like the education around it. Yeah. I remember, I played travel softball most of it, as did you, and I remember my mom would always joke about my brown knees.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be like, brown knees, because I had sliders that went down to like your thigh, and then you had socks that came up your shin, and so your knees would just get really dark from the sun.
I remember.
And I always think like, I don't know what the like likelihood of. I'm like, if I get cancer, that was one of the places that was exposed
on
probably
my knee. The back of your knees.
Yeah, because it was like always, brown knees, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, can I add to that? So we had these travel softball in the 90s and early 2000s. You wore like shorts and a tank top, right? We grew up in places where it was hot. And we had these little Velcro straps that you would also then strap through the back of your jersey to like
Oh, yes.
pull it even further in so your shoulder blades are
Yes,
exposed.
it would just like pinch
basically.
it into a.
And so I just had
yes.
these like triangles also
Yeah.
of on the backs of my shoulders. So I had brown arms and like shoulder blades.
Which is, by the way, we grew up in Florida at the beach constantly, and so the tan lines, the farmers' tan lines, were out of control.
Just brutal.
Yeah, they're nothing compared to, or no, the ones we get now from hiking are nothing compared to those days.
No, definitely not. We
Okay.
also just wear so much more sunscreen now.
I know. That was one of the things I had gone into. I was like, wanted to get the facial sunscreen I've been using. I'm like, is this the right kind? And she basically was like, it has to be above 30 or above SPF. And what she told me was that you have to reapply it. Because I just put it on in the morning.
Wait, really? I just put it on in the morning under my
know,
makeup.
under my makeup. And she's like, basically, it only lasts like for a couple hours.
Well,
So
wait.
you're supposed to reapply. But then here's the question.
What if you don't leave the house?
Well, that's valid. If you're not going outside, then you
Hello,
won't.
that's me. I don't leave the house.
You didn't need to put it on in the first place, maybe. But, I should have asked if you can get sunburn like through the windows.
Don't
My
ask
mom
that
asked me this the other day. She was like, can you get like the UV? I was like, I think. But my question,
Hang on. You can get like sunburned in the car, or like if you have your arm
Yeah.
like up on the side, it can come through the window. So logic says.
I think you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're still, like you're maybe slightly less exposed, but it still is absolutely could burn you.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay, but wait. So back to this SPF on your face reapplying. Are you supposed to then put sunscreen on your makeup? But when if you're supposed to reapply, is that the idea? Like this is from us too, which we don't even wear that much makeup.
No.
But like that would mean that like, okay, I put it on in the morning, and then I know my like foundation has a little bit of it too.
Well, I was just gonna say
then-
maybe I think normal women like reapply foundation.
Normal women?
Yeah. I think people who wear makeup, they probably reapply foundation during the day too, potentially. And so maybe that's
I don't
sort
know.
of.
I don't think
I
that's
don't know. I
true.
think you're overthinking it because guess what? This doesn't really apply to you anyway.
We should ask some normal women.
Yes. Ask some makeup wearing women.
We need to ask normal women. I like
Yes.
it being
Ask your
normal. That's
sister.
very funny. Oh, she yeah.
She would know.
But I don't think she's reapplying, and she's in South Florida, so she absolutely should be reapplying.
Totally. So ask her and see what she
Okay,
says.
fine. Well, also listeners, tell us how you, normal women out there listening, tell us how do you reapply? I guess I'm going to try it over my makeup. I just feel like it's going to get like clunky and like it's like oily. I barely like putting it on in the morning is my problem.
Okay, fair.
You're bored, I can tell. Okay.
I mean, it was interesting at first.
Okay, let's also talk before we get into business and such. We just want to talk about how heavy the world and the news and the outlook is bleak right now.
Yes.
And I think it's important to address this and that it's not lost on us. I mean, if you follow us, you know that we're, involved in the know, active. And I think we choose to let this podcast be not about that.
It's like the escape from all of that because it's like the social media doom scroll is so real. And also like, this is the work that I work in. Like I work in the advocacy space and, it's just like in front of me all the time. And so talking to you like this about something silly is just like a nice escape.
Yes. It's just good to address it and say like, we're not living in a bubble or under a rock. And so we get it. And we hope maybe this is a nice escape for you too.
Here's hoping.
Listeners. Okay, we have to do what's gayer from last week.
Okay, did I win? Tell me I won.
You don't even play dumb with me. You know you won. You told me you won. You were like, I'm in the lead.
Well, I knew I was in the lead, but I didn't know like when the poll went off, like where it landed.
I don't know if I like it as like you versus me now, but
Oh well, it's fun for me though.
the
I don't get to win that much. It's fun for me.
That's not true. You win plenty. Okay, so last week's What's Gayer was being best friends with your ex, which was Amanda's submission.
Yes.
Versus naming your cat after a singer-songwriter, which was my submission, and you did win. But it wasn't some landslide, for the record. I put the percentages down.
Okay, one would argue if this was a presidential election, you'd say won by a landslide.
But it's not.
Okay.
Okay, it was 64%.
Like if Hillary had won by 64%, like,
You didn't win by 64%. You got 64%.
If she had gotten 64%
of
of the vote rather than just, the majority of the popular vote,
We just said we were going to talk politics.
Sorry.
You won. Yours had 64%. Mine had 36%. Yours won, I guess.
Okay.
Being best friends with your ex, which I agree is very gay.
It's so gay.
It's not a contest.
Have you-
except for we've made it a contest.
Well, actually, I guess I was about to ask you if you've ever been in a relationship with someone who was best friends with her ex and how you navigated that. But now I don't really need to ask you that question because you haven't. I know you haven't, because I'm the only person that you dated out of the closet.
Yeah, my other 2 serious relationships were I was in it with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we were deeply closeted, and so yeah, there was no ex issue. Although, I mean, that posed another set of problems. Is like dating someone in the closet, they're having to pretend like they're single essentially, so
Totally
they're dating
brutal.
men, and that's a
Yeah.
whole nother problem. But yeah, I never had to deal with that. Did you?
I don't think necessarily best friends with their ex. I think I had one ex who I remained friendly with for a while, and that was kind of an issue, but that kind of fell away like as we grew older, and so it wasn't a big deal. But like, I knew it was very prevalent in the community, and I was like, that's weird.
Do you think it's not possible?
I think it's possible after time has passed and maybe even like a few relationships have passed.
Yeah.
Like there's still an ex of mine, my first girlfriend, that I still talk to and keep in touch with on like social media. You know this. And don't make this
Oh,
face.
yeah, no, I do.
You know this.
I was like, wait, who? No, I do know you're talking about. Yeah.
And like my very first
Yes, not
real
threatened, not
girlfriend.
worried about it in the least.
Exactly. Because it's like, well, whatever. And like if she lives back home in my hometown, and so like I was like, if we ever like ran into them, would like that be cool? And Kaycee was like, yeah, totally, that'd be fun actually.
Yeah, I would love to meet her.
Yeah.
I think you have a good point about time passing. I also think it very much depends on what kind of relationship the ex one was.
Totally.
And the reasons for breaking up. And I think it depends on how solid your current relationship is.
Is there trauma?
Yes. Is there trauma with the past? Was it toxic? Whatever. But then on top of that, how secure are you in your new relationship?
Yeah.
And how secure are they with you? And like, and you made a good point that it's like, whether or not you meant to, you're not best friends with that person.
No.
You guys keep in touch, you talk on social media, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're best friends with them, that can be tough.
It's weird.
Yeah. So
I think it's weird.
I don't think it's impossible, but it's tricky.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like if you're best friends with an ex, you're probably setting up your like dating life to fail.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and make conclusions because I don't want to get, yelled at by the
I will
throng
make
of
grand
lesbians.
generalizations. I will make.
I'm not putting myself out there for people to say nasty things to me, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose it for my relationship.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, well, today, before we get into our topic, by the way, please come see a show live if you get the chance. All my shows are on my website, kayceeconlee.com/shows. Would love to have you come out. Also, I mentioned this last time, I got a headliner set in May. I'm looking to tape a special over the summer. Come see me live.
Yeah, come sit with me.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute. That's fun. Yeah, it'll just be Amanda at a giant table. Okay, but today we're talking about a cute subject.
Getting a puppy. Where's our puppy?
He's over there.
Should he be on camera?
Maybe at some point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't know how many people watch.
Well, fair.
But we'll see if we can get him on at the end.
Maybe you post a photo of him with this episode.
Yeah.
Like
That's
a puppy photo.
Oh yeah, those are the best ones. Yeah, we just had his gotcha day, which, if you're not familiar with what that is, an excuse to celebrate the dog. But
where Kaycee seems to think he also needs a gift.
Well,
I'm
he
like,
does.
he just had a birthday and Christmas.
So birthday, obviously born, and then gotcha day is the day that you like adopt them. That you're like gotcha. So it's like the day that you get them. So I do treat it like a birthday, and they do get gifts. Yes. And it was his just passed, and I did a full down into the like rabbit hole of puppy photos.
Oh my gosh. And videos. Loved every
but
second of it.
I went so deep into it that I was like, the whole world needs to see these. Just like he's 4 years old. People need to know how cute he is and was. But today we're talking about getting a puppy, in particular, deciding when to get a puppy and like what comes with it. But we're going to start out because I was not always a dog person.
No, in fact, I think you would have said you were not a dog person.
I think I would have said,
like,
I think I would have just said I'm a cat person.
Yes.
That I like dogs fine, but I was a cat person.
Correct.
When we started dating, I grew up with cats, and so I still speak cat. So
It's very strange. You've like tried to teach me, and I'm just like, this is a fluffy thing that I want to touch, but I'm scared.
Yeah, they don't all want to be touched.
No.
It's not like a dog. You have to be careful. But you having a dog when we got together, and not just any dog.
Not just any dog. The dog of all dogs.
Oh my gosh.
The best dog.
I mean, I guess you always remember your first, but this one, it feels like more than that. He was special.
He was.
But anyway, I had to learn to be a dog person.
It was so funny. It was like, I mean, I got Colby was his name. I got Colby as a graduation from college gift. Oh, from that girlfriend I just mentioned, that first girlfriend. Thank you very much. And
Excellent choice.
Excellent choice of puppy. And he was just like my rock. I mean, we were in it. You know, you get a dog at 22 and they're just like in it with you.
Yeah. I mean, also, yeah, you're at 22 too, it's like you're just experiencing adulthood for the first time, really.
Yeah.
And then
And
you
he
have
was
this.
just along for the ride.
Yeah, he sure was.
But yeah, so I had Colby when we started dating. I think Colby was a few years old. And so when we would, you know, you'd come out to visit and you'd spend a week with him or so. But then, you know, that was like your introduction to him and just like my life and having to work around having a dog in the life, which you just like weren't used to.
Yeah, and I kind of want to get into this because we're going to talk about deciding when to get a puppy because I'm curious about like how you came to that decision at that time in your life.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it was very much like, I don't even think there's anything to talk about. I think it was like you know
want a
what
dog.
sounds good? I want to get a dog.
There's not a lot of thought went into it.
Not a lot of thought went into
Because when
it.
I think about it now and how, I mean, a testament to you're a very responsible dog and pet owner, that you like make sure the dog is exercised, cared for, they're not gone too long, and you did all those things. And at 22, that is not easy.
I mean, that is true. I did have help. My best friend
roommate.
helped me,
Yeah.
Was my roommate and helped a lot. Also, the girlfriend I was dating at the time helped a
Very
lot.
involved.
Like,
Yeah.
it was like there were people. I wasn't just like
It
on
takes
my
a
own.
village.
And I will say, like, I did not know what all the things that I know now about raising a dog. And so, like, I'm like looking back, I totally could have done better in his early years.
But so there was almost kind of like an ignorance was bliss because you might have talked yourself out of getting him.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember my parents being like, "Are you sure that's a good idea?" And then I don't know if I've ever told you
voice
this.
of reason
I don't
trying
know
to-
that I've ever even told you the story. Shortly after I got him, Colby was a puppy. He was like 12 weeks old, and I decided to surprise my mom at her office because it was near where I lived in Chapel Hill, and I just like carried him into her office, and she goes, "Oh, for heaven's sake!" And then that was it. I mean, she was just like, I what am I gonna say? This dog's like the cutest dog I've ever seen. So
Yeah. Not hard to, I mean, it's like, you're not going to talk someone out of getting a puppy when they're holding the puppy.
No, especially
never
when you
gonna
look
happen.
like. I know you're gonna throw up Finnegan. Can you put up a Colby picture too?
Colby baby pictures too.
But he was like, ugh, like my heart hurts even just think about how cute he was.
I'll include both of them. I didn't get to know him as a puppy. I didn't come around until a little later. And I remember learning not just like a dog, but also Colby in particular was he was smarter than he let on.
Oh, definitely. But also,
We used
to
I
call him
know.
the supermodel
Yes.
because real pretty, not real bright.
Yeah, but he did get me. I don't know what that says about me, but I remember one of the first times I was visiting you, I would come and stay for like a week at a time because we were long distance, and you had to work one day, and so I was at home taking care of Colby, and I let him out, and I came back in, and he runs over to the little treat cabinet, so he gets his treat for going pee or whatever. And I did think I let him out twice, maybe while you were gone. And you get home at the end of the day, and you're asking just how it went, and I was like, oh yeah, he went twice. He went to the bathroom twice, so he got 2 treats, and you were like, what?
He doesn't get treats for going outside.
I was like, he doesn't, but he went bathroom, and you were like, no. And I was like, but he ran over to the treat cabinet, and you were was it like, oh, he worked you.
Uh-huh.
He knew a sucker. I was just like, I can't believe it. And you were like, you can't give a dog a treat every time they go out. He'd be fat.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's valid. But he was that day.
It's funny too because like, I mean, I know I kind of mentioned this, but like I mean, you're in your 20s, right? You were like, you were used to just like going out and being gone all day. You don't have to think about it. You would like, you know, you're on a Saturday, you're gonna go to the beach and play volleyball, and then go out for lunch, and then hang out with your friends, and then go out drinking, and then like maybe come back home at midnight. Like,
I mean, even a work day would like that. Like you were gone all day for work, you go out after for a happy hour, then what does that roll into? Like, yeah, I'd be gone for a long time.
but like my life, because I got Colby at 22, was never that. It was like, you know, on a work day, I was going home for lunch to let him out and hanging out with him for a little bit, and then when I got home from work, running with him. And on the weekends, trying to make sure I like built in times I wasn't gone all day, every day, or like, could I drop him off at my parents or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think, so that kind of blends into the deciding when to get a puppy. I wanted to like,
Wait, can we tell the Colby French fry story? When I moved to Los Angeles, I remember it was a little bit like, it was a little bit taxing for you because you were just like, I've never had a dog before. Now we did not live together. I think we've covered that, but we still like were spending a lot of time together. And
Yes.
one weekend, and you were just like, I don't know, like you were sleeping over and you were like, he's in my feet space. Like, I don't know how I feel about a dog on the bed. And I was just like, if this isn't going to work because you can't get on board with the dog, then sorry, because I choose him. But
you act like you were all big and bad like that.
I didn't say it like that.
You were like, just pull him up, pull him over to my feet.
Yes. I was very
basically like you were like, well, the dog's not going anywhere, but we can get him into my feet space if that will help.
Correct. But so one weekend I had to go back home for a wedding, and you, amazingly, so nice, offered to watch Colby for me, so I didn't have to like figure out a dog care situation.
Yeah, and this, I just want to point out that I love Colby. I still love Colby. Like he early days, it was the responsibility was hard for me, and knowing the schedule, but I always enjoyed him.
Oh, absolutely. It's just that like this was the first time, and like we weren't even living together. He was not also your dog yet.
Yeah.
He was my dog. And so you offered to let, and then
I'll explain it.
Go ahead.
So I'm watching him for the weekend, and I had, very responsibly staying when I need to stay, but I had gone out like with friends that night. We had like been drinking and dancing or whatever, and I get home and we had picked up whoever was driving DDing. We had picked up McDonald's or Wendy's or whatever, and I came back with my like yummy fast food to eat at home. So I get in, right? I'm sitting there eating, and I'm like, buzzing still, enjoying my French fries, and Colby's there, and I'm like, here, you want a French fry? And like I'm like sharing my fries with Colby because I'm like, he's my buddy, and we're having a little late night snack. And then I'd think nothing of it. I pack up, throw away my food, go to bed, go to sleep, and then I wake up in the middle of the night to vomiting sounds. I'm sure if you have any pet, you know the sounds. And I'm like, and I panic and I jump out of bed and I'm like, oh my god, he's throwing up. And
you call me.
I panicked. I mean, it's so funny to think back on it because dogs throwing up is like really not a big deal at all. A, and like B, once I turned the light on and saw, I knew exactly why he was throwing up.
Why was he throwing up?
Because I thought I had given him like a couple of fries. I thought maybe like 2, 3 as I ate. I had given him like about half the container of fries. I think it was like more of a like one for me, one for you situation. And it was a ton of fries. And I was like, oh, and that's exactly why he threw up.
Yes. Just the phone call of like, he's throwing up, I don't know what to do. And I was just like, it's okay, probably just ate something weird. Like, what'd you guys do today? And then you turn on the light and you went, oh. Never mind. And I was like, what? And you were like, I gave him some fries. So that was, okay, bye.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, that was fun. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you for my tangent.
It's a good story. It's fine. It just shows my incompetence, I suppose. But, okay, now, deciding when to get a puppy. As I was saying, I wanted this hopefully to be somewhat like educational or informative for any listeners who are thinking about getting a dog.
So it's not just our dog stories. Got it.
No, but that's what it's going to be most essentially. So just to go over a few highlights of like how to get a puppy when you're deciding if you're not sure. We already covered a few of them that like know that they need a lot of attention, especially in those first few months. Like it'll even out later, but or like if you get a dog, maybe like an adult dog, it may not be as time consuming. But in the first few months, you're going to have to do multiple potty breaks a day. Remember when we got Finn, we live in a 2-story townhome on the 2nd floor that then is like down to a ground floor to get to the like letting out the dog.
So you're carrying this dog down 3 flights of stairs 7 times a day to go outside because it's like anytime when they wake up from a nap, they need to go out. When they get done drinking, about 10 minutes later, they need to go out. Anytime, about 10 minutes after they eat, they need to go out. They get done playing, need to go out.
Yes.
It's like,
and luckily Amanda knew all these things, which is very helpful. But we were literally doing stairs. I mean, it was like a full-on workout. And we were, dividing the work. So it was like every other. But I think I counted one time. I was like, we took him out 12 times or like 15 times today. Because it's like you're saying, we didn't want him to pee inside the house. And by the way, no accidents. This dog's never pooped in the house.
Nope. He did pee in the house a couple times, but then we rolled up the rug and we realized he doesn't want to pee on the hardwood floor. He wants to pee on that soft rug. Though I will say, if you're someone who lives in a place where taking him outside that not often, puppy pads are like a brilliant invention.
Yes.
We did not have to do that, and I'm grateful for that because I don't want that in our house. But they are great, and they would suffice for this.
Yes. And that rolls right into they do need training. Part of that training is socialization, right? They need exposure to other people, dogs eventually once they've had shots, all kinds of different environments. And then we took Finn to a little puppy class, which kind of worked for both because he was able to get some socialization with other dogs and the training.
Yeah, before he was like old enough to go to daycare. So
Yeah.
you mentioned the shots, but I think that's one important thing to call out, that like a dog can't actually be around other dogs until they're 4 months old because they need all their
All the
rounds
shots.
of like shots first. And so you can't take them to the dog park. You can't take them on a walk. Like if you have a dog in the house that's fully vaccinated, that's fine. Or if like you have friends or family who have, that you know and trust and you know their dogs are fully vaccinated, then totally. But otherwise they just like, you can't socialize yet.
And that's why we took him to that puppy class, because it's other puppies that also have to have the proof of that they're on the track for vaccinations. And so it's a safe, good place for him to play. And by the way, it was sort of a reprieve for us because days where he had class, exhausted. He was done. And it was like the most peaceful, best cuddles, just like chill day after puppy class.
Well, that is, I mean, I didn't do puppy class with Colby. I just taught him myself. And puppy class was like a little bit privileged, to have a little bit of extra money to be able to afford that. And I'm so glad we did because I learned stuff there. And really, like, let's be honest, training a dog is really you being trained.
Yes, and you have to be, that's one of the things it talks about is like consistent and like reinforce all the stuff. And we would leave puppy class, which was weekly, and we would come home and have homework, and you'd have to practice the commands and everything you learned. So it's a commitment. A couple more things though. Health and vet care, obviously, I mean, everybody knows about this, but there's a cost associated with the vaccinations and the checkups and all that. Also spaying and neutering if it's not already done. And also you should be ready for unexpected costs that you don't know that are going to come up. I mean, there's puppy insurance and dog insurance and all that you can do if you want something more predictable or to be safe just in case. But also, I feel like the first year of his life, it was like a lot of vet visits.
Oh my gosh, so many. Because you have to go, you're going to the shots every month or every 6 months or,
And I know you're going to tell a story about Finny in his particular puppyhood of a vet visit. But let's get through this important list first. Okay, so the nutrition, you got to get food, obviously. The puppies usually actually have multiple more meals than adult dogs. And you don't want to...
And special food.
Yes, but you also don't want to change their food drastically. So like one of the things we ran into, he's like, we noticed he had a sensitivity to chicken early on. And it wasn't because he was necessarily sick. His farts were just out of control, stinky.
And he was so itchy.
Yeah.
We were like, why is this dog so stinky and itchy? And then...
We literally changed his food and it was fine.
Yeah.
God,
and then, you remember that, laying on the couch and he'd be laying on the ground below you and you'd just be like, I feel like... just like in the gas chamber. It's awful.
Yeah, it was literally like a stink bomb went off. It was terrible. And then exercise, we already talked about this. They need lots of it, but they can't really handle walks because you can't take them out and there's too much risk out there. So you got to play with them inside, get them toys, run them around.
Training is also exercise because
yes.
Brain exercise is just as good.
Yes, and like puzzle feeders and stuff like that can work as a stimulation. And then obviously we talked about this a little bit, but house preparation, rolling up the carpet worked well for us. There's also crate training if you're going to do that. We ended up accidentally crate training him fully. We only meant to crate train him to help him like through the night with accidents.
Well, okay, we ended up with a dog that is a crate dog in adulthood. I mean, we crate trained fully, period. That was all the intention. But then like when I had Colby, I crate trained, but then like usually well, not usually. For most people, they do the crate in the puppyhood and then they sort of like do away with the crate.
Or get like lenient about it.
Yeah, and that was the plan for us for a long time. But Finn would just like, literally that dog will go upstairs and go to bed and he just walks right in the crate. Like he doesn't even want to lay on the bed.
No.
He is a crate dog. It is like his safe space. And so that's what Kaycee means by accidentally. Like we didn't intend that. We always intended to sort of do away with the crate and let him just be footloose and fancy free. But that's not his journey.
I think two of the things that if you're looking to do this for your dog and you want this, I think two factors that really helped are there's a cover on his crate. It's fully covered, so it's like his safe space and it feels more like a den. And it's bigger than he needs. So he doesn't feel like, I think he's always enjoyed it in that we had one of those dividers when he was really little. But it's a bigger crate than he really needs because we thought we were getting a bigger dog. But I think that feels like he has plenty of space and it's covered and it's like his.
Yeah.
I think it just stuck. And I don't have a problem with it. But
If you're
sometimes I wish I would get more cuddles.
If you're interested in tips and tricks for how to crate train a dog, hit me up, or there's plenty of stuff on the internet, because there are things that, like, it takes time. They don't just all of a sudden you put them in the crate the first night and they're just like hunky-dory.
No, we slept on the floor with him. I think we took turns sleeping on the floor with him.
Yeah.
Which was crazy, but we're those crazy lesbians that love our dog. Also, just as far as the house prep, let me be sure and say, sometimes you need to check if you have toxic plants, you gotta lock cabinets. Sometimes you might have to move trash into a drawer or a cabinet because some dogs get into that.
Roll up cords so they don't like chew on electrical cords.
Exactly. So there is additional house prep. And then the biggest piece of this, all of it, I think, is patience. We talked about the cost, so obviously all that stuff adds up. But patience, because accidents are going to happen. They're going to chew. They're going to bark. They're going to be messy. They're going to be noisy. You're going to be frustrated with this puppy. And that is why they make them so cute.
Yep. So that you don't punt them.
Like that we're just joking about animal abuse. But seriously, they will drive you crazy. That's totally normal.
Yep.
And, that's why they make them adorable. I mean, this might be a great chance for you to talk about your time of almost punting him.
Okay, let's just say most human beings that I know, when they've gotten the dog, there has been a moment or two of regret.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, you're overwhelmed. Puppies are a lot of work. Like any small thing is a lot of work, but like puppies are a lot of work. They challenge you in ways that you maybe don't expect. And you may have those moments and it's okay. Find someone you can talk to just say like, I'm feeling this way. Like maybe it'll pass, maybe it won't. But like, if you're feeling that way, it's okay. It happens.
Yeah.
That happened to me. I will go ahead and admit it. When we got Finnegan in January of 2021, Kaycee's family was having some health things going on, and so we had just gotten Finn, and 2 weeks after we got him, she needed to go home to help with a family member who was ill, and we were here, it was me and Finn for 2 weeks alone. And Finnegan is at this point, 12-week-old puppy, because we got him at 10 weeks. And granted, he was a very good puppy. He wasn't loud. He didn't chew on things. He was like pretty good with potty training, but he was a lot. Like if you know Finnegan, he's bossy. He needs a lot of exercise. Like he's like, pay attention to me. And I'm working from home. And it's just me in this dog.
And that would have been enough on its own.
Yes. That would have been enough on its own, except that shortly after Kaycee left, I woke up in the middle of the night because Finny was whining, and I took him outside. And do you remember the like super soakers?
Oh God.
Finnegan super soakered poop out of his tiny little body. And he had just like liquid diarrhea for days. And it was just like, it was all I could do to keep him clean. And to like, and
which,
finally,
by the way, is scary on its own. I mean, I know you're talking about the inconvenience of it, but also it's like this
I
dog
didn't know what's going on with this puppy. He's this big. You can't see me, but like he weighed 8 pounds. Like there's not a lot you can do. I mean, and I know the tricks of like get him on chicken and rice. Make sure you're putting water in with it so he's staying hydrated. Like I knew what to do, but it just like wasn't stopping. So I finally called the vet. Hello, unexpected vet visit. Have to take him in. The dog has Giardia, which if you're not familiar is like a parasite or bacteria. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's some sort of bacteria in their body that adults actually get this like through hiking and stuff from drinking unfiltered water. So likely he came to us with it and it just like took a minute to like really settle in. And so not only I'm having to give this puppy pills and like
to clean his bowls
and this like squirt medication too that has to go in his mouth. The vet tells me like it's really easily passed from dogs to humans, and like he could get it again. So you have to, every time you go out, you have to like Lysol him down. You have to clean his bowls every time he eats or drinks something. You have to keep his feet clean. And I was just like, I think we've made a mistake. I think he needs to go back. And I mean, bless you, my mom, Hannah, like a couple of our friends that I was just like calling in tears to be like, I don't think I can do this. I think I got to take him back. And you know what? Nobody, to all of your credit, nobody was like, you can't do that. Everybody was like, okay, I know it's really bad right now. If maybe that's the right choice, let's get him through this thing. And then like, if it's not the right fit, then it's not the right fit and we can take him back.
I think
everybody just like telling me that, I was just like, okay, okay, there's
Yeah.
light at the end of the tunnel. And then it was fine. And of course, he's still with us. But
Yeah, I think mine was just like, can you just hang on till I get home?
yeah.
Because I was like, I'll get home, I'll help, and then we'll see how you feel. And because I was like, if it's still, you want to punt him through the window, then, which I think is the exact words you were
Yes.
using, and then I was like, then we will return him. We'll figure it out. By the way, saying all that, knowing deep down, I was like, I'm not getting rid of this puppy. It's my puppy. But knowing that that's what you needed to hear.
It's what I needed to hear at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Ugh,
for sure.
brutal. I mean, you know, we've talked about Colby and like the way that we lost Colby. He was my guy, you know, and so like I think probably the problem really is that I just wasn't ready. So it's coming back to when is it ready? Like we lost this dog that was such a big part of our lives and such like an integral part of who I felt that I was. And we got Finn, let's see, Colby died in August and we got Finny in January.
Yeah.
And it was me that was like, I want to get a dog. I want to get a dog. I'm the one who had puppy fever. And then when he came to us,
Yeah, you picked him out.
I picked him out. I mean, and I was like sending you dogs like for a month before. And I did not realize this on my own. I did this with the help of a mental health professional. That I think really what it was is I wasn't over like seeing Finn sick like that triggered in me this response of like having gone through like what Colby went through at the end of his life with his illness, and I just like wasn't ready, and so I just like blocked him out because like to not revisit the trauma, and I wasn't fully ready to let him in yet, and that was just I just wasn't ready, and so people are already on their own timeline. Like, you guys bonded immediately, and you were like, yeah, it's so obvious now. That dog is, Finnegan is Kaycee's dog, if anyone is
I think you've already said that on the podcast.
So, I blame myself.
Very much your dog, too. But I don't think you ever mentioned to me the stuff about his illness triggering you back to Colby, but that makes a lot of sense.
It's just been a long time.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. But...
Do you want to talk a little bit about how we decided to, go ahead, sorry.
No, what were you going to
Like
say?
what the adoption process was like and how we decided like LA versus outside?
Yeah, well, I wanted to say that. I was going to try and segue, but you were having an emotional moment.
Oh, sorry. Okay, well, I just gave it to you.
It looked like you got a little teary-eyed.
I did not get teary-eyed.
No, but so when we picked Finn, we actually had picked another dog like a few weeks before because you had been sending me dogs. And then what happened is we've discovered that this shelter in LA was charging way too much, and they wanted like references.
They wanted $1,000, your firstborn, and a kidney.
Yeah, it was really crazy. And so I was like, you know, we're committed and we want this puppy, but like we're getting a mutt, so it shouldn't be this expensive to get the dog itself. We know where there's going to be cost for the care and everything, but we didn't think it'd be that expensive to adopt. And so we started looking at shelters outside of LA, and in fact, the one we found Finnegan at, a shout out to, it's called Hand Me Down.
Going back to the dong.
Yeah, Hand Me Down Dog Shelter. That's what I was going back to. Hand Me Down Dog Rescue.
Dog rescue.
And they're on Instagram. It's in Bakersfield, so it was like a 2-hour drive outside of LA. But they were very reasonable. They were very we just want to get the dogs into good homes. Mm-hmm. And what we actually ran into is the LA shelter asking for they wanted walkthroughs of the house to see where the dog would live, to call your landlord, to call your employer, references. And so when we were filling out the application, Amanda just kind of didn't really think much of it, was just filling it out, and had put our landlord's information in there. And then they called 5 minutes later. We had not told our landlord we were looking for a puppy. We had not told our landlord that we had lost our dog.
Yeah.
And so
we hadn't planned need to yet.
So all of a sudden we get a call from our landlord, you can't have 2 dogs. And we're like, oh, wait, we're actually just having 1 dog, but the other, And so it was okay, let's find somewhere that's more our pace. Mm-hmm. And listen, I respect it. I understand what the LA shelters are doing and why they have to do that. I'm sure that they've had issues with people not being responsible, returning pets too frequently, or getting animals when their landlord said no, or whatever.
It's also LA, so the cost to have a rescuer, I'm sure, way higher.
Yes.
And also this was right after that post-pandemic trend of
surge. Yes.
Everybody's getting a dog.
Yeah. So we did what worked for us, and it was basically a little looking around, just the basic amount of research. But yeah, and that's what we found to be the best thing for us. Mm-hmm. And that shelter, or that rescue, Hand Me Down, was oh yeah, I don't remember how much it was, like $150, but we'll knock off 50 if you can prove that you're going to get, that you got him neutered, which we did. And then, yeah, so that was really great.
Yeah, he also came with it. He came with his chip and everything.
We've also since, like, I know donated to them a couple times, shared their information. We're talking about it now. Big fans. I think it's literally just one woman who lives there who runs this thing.
Yeah, and she just rescues dog out of her house.
Yeah.
She's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. I think it's technically, we say Bakersfield, but it's in
Tehachapi.
Tehachapi. Yeah. Okay. Well, what else? Are there any other things you wanted to share? I mean,
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like we could talk about our dogs forever.
We really could. We really could. I do think, well, you have a couple notes on here that I didn't know about dogs, which was like sort of the stages they go through and the regression, which was a big surprise for me.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so just a note about that. So if you get a puppy, and that's the first dog you adopt, 0 to 4 months, you have puppy. You're learning, there's pee all over everything. They're the cutest thing ever. They're what you expect to be a puppy. I call the ages of 4 to 36 months T-Rex. Maybe that's a little bit because we tend to adopt Aussies, and so they're just like, crazy! And then after 3 years, after 2-3 years, depending on the dog and the breed, then you just have a normal dog again. But those couple of years are like intense. And something I think people don't always necessarily know. Right around 7 to 9 months, dogs will regress, much like kids. And so when you'll think at 7 to 9 months, somewhere, it just depends on the dog as the timing, but like you'll think, you're like, okay, we're trained, we're potty trained, we're not having accidents anymore, we're like good,
they know commands out, they're like cruising.
We're like done. Then all of a sudden they hit this phase and they're like, nah, let's look shit up.
Yeah.
And they just like, it's like they forget everything. And it's just because they've hit this like rebellious regression phase. You have to go back to basics with your training. You have to stay diligent. It will pass.
Yeah. I don't know that it passed with Finnegan. I think he's too smart and he chooses when to obey things. And it reminds me a lot of that regression period where like, I'll look at him and be like, come. And he'll be like, no. He'll like look at me and like decide. Be like, wait, does she have one? No, she just has a regular little cracker treat. I'm good.
Well, okay, that is also a personality trait. Probably what I mean is like, when if they start chewing again, or they start using the bathroom in the house, or like those types of things will regress. It will pass.
He's always been a little bit of a gremlin, and he has. We're all familiar, if you know him at all, with his bewitching hours.
4 to 6.
4 to 6 p.m. every afternoon. This is when he gets the brunt of his exercise, and he knows it. And if you're not on time with it, it's because like I get done with work at 5, and so it's usually like 5 o'clock we go. But sometimes like he'll start whining at me.
Remember when he used to come and just like push toys up against your leg?
Yes, he still does that. He'll push toys, or I'll be sitting like working at my desk, and I'll just hear him behind me going,
He's very vocal. I said he was bossy. Oh, here he comes. Speak of the devil.
It's like he heard me making fun of him.
But it's funny. I mean, like, I don't know that was necessarily his bewitching hour. At first, I think we forced the bewitching hour a little bit because of the time. Or was it the other way around? Was it that he was that he would get crazy, and so that's when we decided to do exercise?
Yeah, it's sort of a self-fulfilling, like which came first, the chicken or the egg. I'm bringing
he's
him
coming
over.
to the camera. If you're watching on YouTube, you're about to get a glimpse of Finnegan in all his glory.
Oh, all his glory. I'm not going to put his peen on there. Here you go, Finny. Say hi to the camera.
Look at his big old head.
Snap near my lens so he like...
Oh my gosh.
Can you do that? Here, do this.
Finn, look.
There you go. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy.
He's getting lickies on the face. All right.
Okay.
Well, are we done?
I think we might be. Okay. I think we might be done with the podcast, the episode. Oh, okay.
So, write in. Tell us. Have you ever gotten a puppy? Mm-hmm. What's the grossest, funniest, cutest thing that happened with your puppy? We want to hear about it.
I want every story. Or just pick your favorite. DM me at Kaycee Conlee, and maybe we'll share it on a future episode. I would love to have a whole, if we get enough dog stories, I could do a whole dog story.
Yes.
Pod.
And if you're going to do that, make sure you send the photo of the dog.
Yes, please.
Thanks.
Okay, so now it's time.
It's time.
It is time.
For
What's Gayer?
What's More Gay?
Okay. It is here. I'm going first.
Okay.
Okay,
go.
I've got What's Gayer? Cotopaxi backpacks as purses.
That's a good one. Okay, I got one.
Oh, if you're not familiar, Cotopaxi is a brand. It's like an outdoorsy, like give back brand.
Sure.
It's sold at REI, if that tells you anything. So wearing
Amongst other
wearing a
places.
Cotopaxi backpack as a purse.
Okay. Attending a party or an event just to meet a celesbian.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so if you're not familiar, so lesbians, celebrity lesbians, it's in the name.
Like reality TV lesbians.
Yes, yeah. So going to the event just to go meet them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Can I share a little story before we wrap up that I did this?
We can, but voting, please, you guys, I need to win this one.
Do you though?
I think I'm gonna have
I still think I win.
I think I'm gonna have it. Okay, tell me your story.
Okay, my story is that, do you remember the show, The Real L Word, that came out in the early 2010s?
Of course.
Oh no.
What have we done?
What have we done? You did this. Okay, so came out, whatever. Whitney Mixter, who was like the head lesbian of this television show that was based here in Los Angeles. She did I was living in Raleigh at the time, and we had a lesbian bar there. And she came and did like a big, because she was a party promoter. She came and did a huge party at our little club in Durham, and everybody in the community came out, and it was like this huge thing.
That's why they do it.
Oh my, I'm sure, yeah.
That's why. That's how it sells. It sells tickets and drinks and all
this
that.
cast was like the first celesbian. You know what I mean? And so it was like
OG.
such a big deal. I remember, 24-year-old me being like, let's go.
I'm sure you were leading the whole freaking troops in.
And it was wild.
Is that why you thought of it? Because you literally did that to go meet her?
It is, but then I've also seen a bunch of stuff in the community recently, like people sharing there's a new queer day party at the new women's sports bar in our neighborhood that they're doing once a month, but they started it with one of the couples that was on that, what is that reality show that?
Ultimatum?
Queer Ultimatum. So.
Wow, that's a fun little celesbian story. I play basketball with one of the Queer Ultimatum.
Oh yeah, you do.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, so celesbians are in our orbit.
All the time. One day we're going to be them. This podcast, babe.
I don't want
Be
that.
careful.
I don't want to be a celesbian.
You're going to be a little Whitney Mixter throwing parties. Actually, I guess that would not be on brand for you. What would you be? You're celesbian.
Club.
You would. Oh, I was gonna say no. You would run a book club. I bet you'd be like Amanda's pick for the month. Everybody read it, like Reese, only gayer. Or you would be like, this is my dog farm. Come visit the gentle barn type thing where it's like all the animals on the farm.
That sounds great. I love that idea.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for listening, watching, taking in our episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're taking very good care of yourselves. And thanks for being here.
Nice talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.